Welcome back to Secrets and Sabotage. Today we have a guest that I've been so looking forward to meeting. Welcome Wilf to the show. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Look at you two getting on.
Yay! That's the most common question I ever get. Do you Kieron get on? I'm like, yeah, man.
I've got to ask now, like, after the show, because I'm not the only one, people take this show seriously.
Not as much anymore, you know. Like, I think with season 1, it was so new to everyone. And it was so weird. So we've set this premise of like traitors backstabbing traitors. But originally it weren't like that was not part of my game plan. The game plan was to go all the way with the traitors because we'd never seen it before. So I wanted to go as a team. And then with Alyssa, like originally it was basically half of the cast were going to vote for her, half of them were going to vote for me. So, you know, when you go in a room, you know, people are talking about you, right? It's horrible feeling when in the castle. And I knew it. And I knew that Kieron and Amos and that were talking with Maddie. And I was like, okay, they're going to go for me. But then I knew the other half were going for Alyssa. I just had to convince enough people to go for Alyssa to keep me. So it was like fight or flight, basically.
Yeah.
That was the first backstabbing. And then Amanda, like, these new casts are lucky. The new casts are lucky because they know how it ends. We weren't told how it ends until episode 11. So episode 11, I had no game plan for the end. I was like, I don't know how this ends. And then I got really paranoid about it. And then Kieron was like, there needs to be a higher matriarch or whatever there needs to be. And I was like, yeah, that's her. I thought Amanda was gonna because in my head, have you seen what's that thing, Golden Balls?
Yeah.
In my head, that was the end.
The Traitor's dilemma.
Yeah, I was like, something's gonna happen where I have to go against Amanda, and we're both just gonna steal, and we're gonna get nothing. Like in my head, that's what it was gonna end up. And then as soon as he started dropping the Amanda, I was like, yeah, man, yeah. And I just jumped on it. So really, it was his fault.
You are the king, mate. You are reign supreme. You had no blueprint. You had no formula. You had nothing to watch. And the Alyssa moment, for me, there was bits before getting thrown out, a couple of twists, but the Alyssa backstab was the beginning of the Traitor show for me, where he cemented what traitors were like, basically, how the show will pan out. That was the biggest. That was the start of the show of the Traitors for me. When you turned on.
That's when it
moved up.
Yeah. So I remember because I had COVID when it was aired, so I didn't go out or anything. So I didn't really know if it was growing. And people on Instagram, they don't follow you till the end of the show.
I've seen that because I've been looking at people now.
They're not allowed to follow each other and stuff.
No, but like the
public.
Okay,
public.
They always wait.
No one's really following. I thought that'd be weird because season 3, episode 1. Got like 5 million views. And I thought out of that 5 million, you're going to get a lot of those people. Even if it's 1 million people following 22 people, I thought that would be something. It
doesn't work like that. So with a lot of social media, people don't want to ruin it and give themselves, because it was pre-recorded, right?
Yeah.
So people are like, if I go on their Instagram and see something,
okay.
So when people leave, that's when they gain their following. So I remember I was getting no followers or nothing. I was like, and I was speaking to Amos about it. Me and Amos were like, because like I remember when we were in the castle, I don't know if you was there at the point. I think no, you obviously was. Yeah, we were talking about we just would love 10,000 followers.
Yeah, Amos wanted a blue tick.
A blue tick and 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
That's what all Amos wanted from the show. He's like, if I can get 10,000 followers and blue tick. So we were talking about it when the show was out, and we're like, yeah, this show's not doing very well. And I had COVID, so I wasn't going out. And then I remember I was trending all of a sudden.
He just popped.
There's someone messaged me going, you're trending #1 on Twitter. And I was like, no, I'm not on Twitter. So I was like, no way. And then he screenshotted, and it was just people going in on me. Like, we hate this guy. And I was like, yeah. And that was the only day I went on Twitter I went to bed at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I opened up Twitter, went on it, couldn't sleep for about 4 hours. I've never felt so bad in my whole life.
Twitter is not the place to be if you're a contestant on the show.
Nah.
If you're a fan favourite, you're like, but if you're going to come under fire, that's where the place is.
What was that actually like to go online and see pure hatred?
It was one of the worst things. And like, I'm this kind of person where I always say, I don't really care what people think. But then at that point, when there's so many people saying the same thing,
It's a lot to take, mate.
it was a really, like, big up to like the welfare team, but at the same time, when they ring you like, how are you feeling? You just lie anyway, even if you're feeling like shit. For some reason, I was just like, yeah, I'm fine, but I wasn't. Yeah. And then that's why, like, when season 2 came out and season 3 came out, I would reach out to the traitors, just the traitors, and just say, hey, like I'm here if you need to chat, like enjoy the ride, but if it gets a bit bumpy, like you can DM me and we can chat. Because I remember going through that and nobody really I had nobody I knew who's ever experienced it.
You were the first, mate. Really, it all, I don't know, Alyssa's slightly different. Alyssa went out, but Amanda had love. But really, it was all on you, wasn't it? Season 1, the stick was directed to you because Amanda was the icon. Alyssa went out early, so really everything was channeled to you. But that's also what made the trailers, mate. So you had a heavy burden on your back.
It was, so even looking at their Twitter feed, even now when I watch this season's episode, I'm watching it while refreshing Twitter to see what is being said. Yeah. And I'm the same. Like I said, I take TV too seriously. But even I know that there's a line. And I remember looking at your stuff 10 minutes before, I'm there going, oh, this guy, what an arsehole. Refreshed it. I was like, okay, it's not that bad. Wow. Calm down, everyone. It's weird. It is TV.
Yeah, and also you can't, I say it to contestants, I've reached out to lots as well, you can't go on a show, for us it's a bit different, we didn't know how it was going to go. You can't go on a show like that. They do prep you, didn't they, so social media.
But I think, the public didn't really realise it was a game as much as they do now. Like now, if you're a traitor, it's sort of celebrated when you make a big move. With us, it was... and it was really hard for me because I was like, whatever I'm doing, even if it's tactical and it's good, people are hating it. And I was like, and then when season 2 came out, I think everybody started realizing actually it is just a game, and they didn't get much backlash. I don't think.
I gave more backlash on season 2.
Who?
Harry.
Why?
Because you played the game, and afterwards you were like, I'm really happy you guys won it. Cool. Harry I was like that. The scene where he wins.
What an anticlimax, man. It was weird.
Cringe of it.
It was.
I just felt.
Greatest traitor ever!
bro.
It was. But everyone sat there and go like, right, they're like expecting fireworks or like anything really.
It was weird because
it was weird.
But I think they made it like that.
Even Claudia like sidestepped out.
But the thing is, it's like they try and make it anticlimax because it's like he won. And then it's like, but dark won. You know what I mean? It's but the evil person won. The way
you can't celebrate evil in that way. I just felt so bad for Molly.
People were horrible to her after, you know.
Oh, really?
She's 3 words away from winning that, wasn't she? And she changed her mind.
Realistically, Jazz wanted to carry on the game. And then she voted for Jazz. Like, he would have finished the game because he was a traitor. So she just made that really bad move. It was a bad move in the moment, right?
It was the right move for her because she trusted her friend. And this is the thing. Like he got like
but logically, he wouldn't. If you're a traitor, you just go, we'll all end the game because they ended the game. And he wanted to go again. So you instantly know he's faithful because he thinks somebody else is a traitor.
But we do. That's hindsight, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's when you're in that moment, it's so easy to make a bad decision.
Yeah.
But, you know, people were calling her all sorts. I felt really sorry for her. She's so nice. I never met her, but
I've chatted on social media. She is like one of the most sweetest, and she's obviously in Dancing on Ice coming out soon as well. So she is an absolute sweetheart, mate. What a lovely, lovely girl. But the game, sometimes, like, it could be your downfall if you're too nice.
It's like when people go, everything that... How did you miss that? It's so
obvious. Mate.
It's like when you're there, like, it's so hard.
It's the most annoying thing to go, how can you... Because you're watching everything. You're watching the interviews. You're watching the cuts.
If I was in every room, watching everyone, I think
watching everyone's myths and stuff like that. That's the thing where I started to get, like, Facebook. I come out the Facebook group, some of them, so I make the opinions people have.
Yeah.
It's like... It used to wind me right up. Now I'm not. I just completely ignore it because
I told you we take TV so seriously that people don't.
Their theories are absolutely. What was I watching the other days? I think it's 3 days ago. One of the groups that come up and went, well, I know people don't stay at the castle. I know they fly. I know you have to get on the boat across a lake and go and do the interviews there, and then they bring you back on a boat there. I was like, okay. I was like, what? Where's that come from? What boat? What are you talking about?
I've answered the same questions forever, right? So I know it, and Plank behind you. So they're really good, right? They're like. I just got bored. Yeah, they're the police. They're the ones who make sure that I'm not saying the wrong thing. But I got so bored of saying the same stuff. I started making stuff up in it.
Oh, no, you would do.
I started saying we had a therapy lamb. Yeah, we had the lamb that we used to stroke. The traitors. And I said we used to be able to stroke him if we were stressed. Traitors, yeah. And I remember, I can't remember who was working for Flank. Like, looked, because they were in person.
Yeah.
They just looked at me like, what is this guy doing? And they were like, you've got to cut that out. You've got to cut that out.
Therapy lamb come home with you, actually, didn't he? Kept it.
Oh, you have to just start making stuff up.
Because we've answered it. It's been 2 years, isn't it? So, it's been weird. Like, that's why I like when season 3 comes out, because it's like, we can talk about different.
It is the same questions you get asked all the time, then which some
the same three.
Yeah.
Same three. Is Claudia nice?
Yeah.
Was it hard? And do you speak to the rest of the cast? That's the three that I get.
So season 3 has come out now. Everyone that didn't see season 1 and 2 is now catching up and binging season 1, season 2, so they can watch season 3.
It's pressure from their friends because it's like talking point at work and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, so,
It's everywhere, man.
It's a massive talk.
Well, it's the biggest show on TV. I know, like the other ones are out there, but it's the most gripping one.
Are you watching season 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hooked,
so
man.
episode 1.
Yeah.
What's been what was your thoughts straight away?
Cast. What about let's go with the cast.
Let's go with the cast.
Yeah.
I love the cast, and I think I've got this like natural. Like, I grew up in Liverpool, right? So Liverpool and Peterborough, and then when I seen there was 2 people from Liverpool, 1 person from Peterborough, I was like, I've got to support them.
They're my crew.
Yeah, they're my crew. But then one of them became a traitor. I was like, yes, Mina. Yeah. So
she's playing a great game so far.
But I'm scared for her.
Why?
Because she's looking so strong. And there's still 9 episodes left.
Yeah.
Like 9 episodes is a long time. A lot can happen.
Well,
I want her to win, though.
I was saying that. We're 3 episodes in, but now 3 to 9 is where things just go wild, don't they? These are where it all goes off now. The next 6 episodes is where shit happens, basically. You're going to lose big characters. A lot of people are going to blend in. The quiet ones are all sitting back. It's some good gameplay out there at the moment. Like, I want to talk about Yin. First of all,
she was wicked, man.
But also,
did you see her singing and all that?
Oh, mate, it's amazing. But her intelligence was her downfall.
Scary, so scary.
Her intelligence, but she would have been a phenomenal player, But she made the fatal mistake of making people aware that you're really smart and clever.
Yeah.
And
so Leanne is playing the game that Yin should have played. Yeah. Because she's ex-military, she's clearly very intelligent, but she's come in and gone, I'm a beautician, and everyone has completely underestimated her.
Oh, she's off the radar completely.
Yeah. So that and it's proven that now she's still in, and she's flying so far under the radar, no one mentions her.
Let's talk about the traitors while we've got the king of the traitors in the house.
The original traitor.
The original bad boy. So we'll start with Amani. Like, Amani, bless her. I've never seen a traitor come into the traitors game and have 10-10 confidence of like skipping into the breakfast room, shooby-doo.
We were speaking to Ivan and Ryan on our pod, and we come up with the name of HR Marnie. Because she was like HR to the traitors. When she came in, she was like, can you be a bit more assertive?
I want to see more effort, guys.
That was so funny, mate.
That was hilarious, as everyone else's looks to her.
That also was the moment that sealed her fate, I would say.
It's basically going in there and going, by the way, you can backstab me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to piss you off, backstab me.
She dug her own grave in that one. But what she did really was, she came out and basically went, I'm the boss of the traitors.
Yeah.
This is how you're going to work. I know what I'm doing. And bless her, like that was her game plan. But the confidence, I don't think she was doing it in a bad way.
No, not
she was just so confident that she was right.
The funniest thing is she had no clue. Like, she was like, so nobody thinks it's me.
No one picked. She thought she had like an invisible shield.
I was like, everybody's talking about you. Like, how have you not picked this up? Like,
she was on the radar.
Yeah. Normally when you're there, you feel it. Like, you don't even have people to tell you. You can feel what people are thinking. Like, it's a weird thing. And she just picked up on no social cues. Like, she's like,
she didn't read the room at all, did she?
Oh, God, no.
Bit like comedy, wasn't it?
I fucking hate you. I'm so glad you're back. I wish you could do it in real life. Keep so doing it. He's the absolute. That one hurt.
That's
I'm not gonna lie.
That one.
So what? So snowboarding.
Who cares? Who gives a fuck now?
Right. Traitor number 2. Let's go with Mina.
Mina's the best. I love her.
Mina's great.
As a traitor,
Yeah.
and as a viewer, as a fake traitor, I would say her game is she's very clever.
Yeah.
She's doing enough when she needs to do enough. She's got faithfuls on her side. What do you think, Will? What's your feedback
at the
on
moment?
Mina?
She's the best traitor that has ever been at the moment in terms of gameplay. Like, she's playing it better than what I did. I was emotional the first couple of days. I was crying all the time, and people picked up on it. In terms of Harry sort of was he was on people's radar straight away because Diane went for him.
Heavy breathing at the round table. Yeah, mate, Harry survived that alone. But
yeah, especially Diane. She's like a dog without a bone.
Yeah,
so she's proper intense. So, I think she's playing it the best I've ever seen at the moment.
3 episodes in, I think you're right. I think she's giving her, but again also,
and Amanda, like on par with Amanda, like that sort of like Amanda was great as well at that beginning stage. Well, she was great the whole way through, but like it's that she's got faithfuls on side, she's got traitors on side. She's intelligent enough to know actually this is the time to get rid of Amanda.
Sacrifice one.
This is the right time. Yeah. They need one to just pipe down a bit. Yeah. So
throw them something.
Yeah, you've got at that point you have.
You done well. It's the same with you with when you was literally you and Alyssa neck and neck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you started that process because you was the one that implemented that plan of.
But that was slightly different though because you think there were. You watch it back. Even if Mina hadn't voted for her, there was enough votes that she would have gone out.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to do that, but it was the right time to make herself look like a faithful.
Yeah,
because that was a gamble. Because if it had gone the other way, she'd have had some explaining to do.
Well, she was lucky because that episode was really good because it wasn't herd mentality. A lot of it was you had random votes for random people.
There was one of them where she went, "I'm voting for you." It's just a guess. I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
You're going to pick an enemy there, though, and you felt right, so I'm going to vote for you next time. That's how fickle it is in there.
And that's what happened. It was Linda.
Tit for tat.
It was the traitor Linda, and then now she's just going for him.
Was it Joe?
Joe's funny, man. He just made an appearance out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was on this show, bro. And 2 episodes in, I was like, "Who's that?" And then he came up on episode 3, and I was like, "Who's that guy?" Like, but do you know what my daughter said? You know, we were talking about the cast, right? My daughter goes, "We'll watch it." She goes, "Oh, there's only like 2-3 big characters this year," and I was like, "That's because there's 22 people and they can't show every single person at the start. So we're gonna start seeing new characters emerge now."
Personalities coming out. Right, the final traitor.
Yeah, Linda.
Linda's amazing.
I really like Linda, but I'm jealous because I feel like I want Andrea to be in that position.
Oh, yeah.
Or when I look at Linda, I'm like, Andrea would have been doing a lot better than her, I think.
Oh,
and she was desperate to do it.
Yeah.
Andrea would have been like Mr. Trick there. And mate, you can never know how it plays out and the twists into how it all goes. But I would have,
it reminds me of that time. Because I remember when I looked at Linda, and obviously she's an older lady, and I'm like, it reminds me of when we had that relationship with Andrea. And Andrea she was desperate to be a traitor.
Yeah.
From the beginning. Yeah. She was like, "I want to be a traitor to everyone." She was saying, and she said it to
open,
Claudia.
Yeah.
When Claudia didn't tap her on the shoulder, she had a go at her. Do you remember? She went, "I begged you to be a traitor."
Or was she just playing a great game to make her know that you're faithful?
She definitely.
Oh, mate, I was saying on the Andrew thing as well, it still haunts me to this day that we had to kill Andrew.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's say if you've got
never going to get bad at it.
Oh, no, she was never going to go to the table.
She would have just been there at the end, like, "You're right."
That's when I come down the next day looking like an absolute psycho traitor where I just didn't sleep that night. I was like, I'm going to go to hell, literally.
There's the question for you, actually. Right, so here's the question.
Yeah.
Sleep, because this is one thing every faithful that has
what's that?
Every faithful that has come on this show has spoken about the sleep deprivation, and the one thing that everyone keeps saying is the traitors, they slept fine because
nah, man,
so
definitely not.
How was that then?
It was really like for me because you film a lot longer, right? Because you all leave, but then the traitors obviously you have to go and film multiple scenes, and that could be walking through a forest. All of these extra shots, and then you're at the turret. And so when you're a traitor, you have to talk about the pros and cons of every single person.
Right.
So, you know, when we watch it, it's like they think it's just these 3 people. It's not, we talk about everyone.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, if we get rid of this person, what's the implication? So it's a long process, right?
Right.
Like another round table sort of thing, but with just the traitors talking and deliberating. So we'd get home. I remember getting home really late. I'm not going to say what time, but it was early hours in the morning, and getting into where I'm staying, and I'm like, your mind's going mad because you know you've got to go into breakfast and do this whole act in the morning, and it was you couldn't sleep. So I probably have like 3 hours sleep max every night.
I'm only realising now that act, and you know this as well. Once you're a traitor, putting on the act, that must be really draining.
Well, look at the example, and I'll back you up on that. Look at the example of where actually you say traitors have a better night's sleep, but actually you've murdered someone. You've got to go into gameplay in the morning and act normal as a faithful. Yeah. When I've done it, I come and when we done off like it was late, but when I come in next door, I couldn't switch into like what he done when he come into the breakfast. I come down and wore the face of a traitor. I couldn't carry the burden.
I reckon Paul found it really fucking easy.
Oh mate, he slept like a baby.
Yeah, I reckon out of everyone, he slept like a baby.
Well, Paul's a pantomime traitor, isn't he? I think he's the traitor off Wish, to be honest.
For me, like I said this year, I don't want to see characters this year. I don't want to see like people taking the role and making it an act. Like, because it's the whole point of the show is like putting normal people into a really difficult situation and see how they react. That's what we love about it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why we love the first Big Brother. And we love Big Brother. You put loads of people into a high pressured environment just to see how they act. But if you go in there and you're like, take it and act as a role, it sort of takes away for me. Like this year, I was so happy that there's no one who's taking on that sort of like character role apart from like pretending to be Welsh, right? But like that's not a character.
That one was hilarious because it was so unnecessary. I don't get it. Like it made zero sense.
Yeah. And the thing is, because it makes me seem trustworthy.
The man who was the first traitor,
and Andrew became a traitor.
Yeah.
So, this season that I'm watching so far, like it's only been 3 episodes, so it can all change, right? It's so early on, but I think it is and I've watched like all of the traitors, like in terms of Australia, New Zealand, all that, and it's the best cast I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The casting team have smashed it.
Oh, they've absolutely destroyed this year. They've got all the normal, different backgrounds, diversity, and the old female traitors this year as well. So it's been
good. I needed that, man. Like I was doing podcasts and radio before, and they're like, "What would you like to see?" I was like, "More female." Like, you know, when Claudia, have you seen that clip? It came up the other day where Claudia, they want to recruit another man. She goes, "Another man now." It's like the medieval times. Something like that.
It's like the olden days.
I love that. She threw a bit of shade.
Yeah. Oh, mate. I think a lot of people wanted to see it this year, and we called it. You've obviously called it as well. So it's refreshing to see.
I was desperate to see it because it was it was so male dominated last year to the point it got quite uncomfortable.
But also,
like like if you watch it, it's just man, and it was just like.
Apart from Ash, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. After Ash, it was literally just male. And for me, as a viewer, I was like, this feels like, you know, what's that word? Like when
toxic,
but also like, you know, when you get a friend and you like, they climb up the
boys
ladder
club or something.
Yeah, it was just weird, and it would just make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see.
No, I think everyone pined for it this year. I think it's good. And there was a lot of traitors last year as well, and some
better traitors, mate. Someone was a traitor for a day.
Oh, mate, that was Ross, wasn't it? Most disappointing.
Oh shit! I forgot he was a traitor.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's 6 of them.
Remember, he's going to avenge Diane. He got thrown out the next day. I was like, everyone. It was the most disappointing traitor turn ever.
So who did you have? So you had Harry.
You had Harry, Paul, Ash, Miles, Ross, Andrew. 6 traitors, mate. You had
6 traitors in 12 episodes.
Oh, mate, it's crazy.
Every 2 episodes, you
no wonder the traitors won. Fucking
everyone gets to go on the show.
That is true. No wonder the traitors won.
Like... So you think in ours there was 3.5? We automatically do a list of 1.5 me, so that was it. So it made it even harder for you.
Oh mate, that was so uncomfortable. You know when he was a traitor, and then you know when he came into breakfast, I was like, "Oh fucked up, man."
Blend it in.
He came in like this, and then Hannah went, Kieron looks spin.
Mate, remember I said on the last podcast, I went open the door and I had my trench coat.
Yeah.
Why'd I wear that trench coat in the first place? It was ruled. Even the producer went, fuck you.
He as obvious as Linda.
Oh, mate.
Walking in there.
Also, let's talk about the criers this year, because we were renowned for having. We were the criers. However, this year we're taking our title.
Season 3.
In the first 3 episodes.
Bloody mess.
Oh. So we're exempt now. We're out of fuel.
Do you know how many people have met me and they're like, "Oh, you don't cry that much in real life." Honestly, when I was there, I can't even explain that I cried. Like, one of the reasons was, right, I feel so guilty about this. I love Claire, right? We had this bond because we've lost certain family members and stuff. I got really close to her, and I was like, my whole strategy is kill the person closest to you, and then I murdered her that night.
I remember.
Yeah.
And I never felt so much guilt the next day. I was sobbing to the point where I remember going for a MIV and I sat on the floor outside the MIV, like sobbing for about half an hour. And I couldn't get and I was like, I want to go home. I don't want to do it.
It's not surprising. Like something like this, you think you're in a controlled environment, you're cut off, you're sleep deprived, you've got
missing your family.
Missing your family. You've got a million things going through your head. And especially you think as a traitor, you're doing 2 roles now. It's gonna get to the point where you're gonna break at some point.
Well, you've got young children, like same as me and Will. We've all got kids, and it's like it was hard, and days just went on forever, and a day was like Hannah called it, like dog years basically.
Yeah.
One day is like 5 days, but there's only 69 players now, because obviously 25 players this year. 69 of us.
He loves counting players. That's his thing.
But I can't count for shit. But we'll ever experience. I spoke to Ellen the other day, and she's like, when she come out, she said it's very intense experience. And when you no matter what anyone says, unless you've done it, you will never know.
Nobody will never know.
know.
I always say that to people. People are like, "Oh, your pretend crime was great." I was like, "Mate, like there was no pretend." No. I literally was bawling my eyes out. And I remember. Do you remember when I got rid of Amanda? And then Claudia comes in and she goes, "What'd you do that for?"
Yeah, and you broke down.
Broke down. And that was a lot longer than what you see on TV. You just sobbing in Claudia's arms. Like, I was literally, because it was like you miss your miss. You know when you have a hard time and you get your miss and you just want to cuddle and cry?
Just need to let out, didn't you? But you couldn't have a break in there, could you? It was right next. Way we go again.
And it was so weird because you go to breakfast. Yeah, this is God's honest truth. I'll probably get in trouble. Don't care. Right, we went to breakfast. Yeah, and then everyone would come in. They'd be like, "Right, we're doing a mission." You go for a mission and then come back and they're like, it's lunchtime. It's like, we only just finished breakfast.
That's why we put on so much weight, didn't we say it earlier? How fat I got through the show. It's like that towards the end.
Oh, yeah, I put on so much weight. There's one where I'm walking down the stairs and I'm chatting to him outside and I'm walking and I'm like, help. I was like, my God, was out, man. I was like,
some of my clothes I couldn't wear. Could you? The shirts towards the end. I was like, fuck it,
like, just hugging me the whole time.
We wore black a lot.
So much weight. And the thing is, I don't eat sweets or chocolate, right? I'm not into it. So then production, like...
You were savoury, wouldn't you?
Yeah, savoury. But when you go back to your, like, where you're staying, there'll be snacks there.
Yeah.
But it was all sweet stuff. So I was like, listen, I don't eat sweet stuff. Can you get me others? And mate, I was going home. I Derrily Dunkers, pepper armies. I was like, I just come back from murdering someone eating a pepper army.
You just reminded me of a funny story that I've never ever told before. It's just you come into my head. So when you get snacks, you can ask for what you want for snacks. Some people get different appetite. And I got on really well with the security team. And we were laughing. For some day, I just want, like a cucumber and dips. So I said, I just want cucumber and dips today. So what one of the motherfuckers had done, I went and got the fattest cucumber he could thing. Left it in my room. Hang on, it gets worse. I went back to my bedroom, getting changed. One of the welfare knocked on the door, and on my pillow was the girthiest cucumber you've ever seen. But next to it was a pot of Vaseline.
Oh, amazing. That's exactly what I'd have done to you.
And she talked to me. She looked at the pillow. She looked twice. She was like, okay, Kieron, I'm going to let you get some sleep tonight. And I was like, right, I've not asked for that. Someone's put that on my pillow. And when I saw the security next time,
what's your name on it, Kieron?
I went, oh, mate, it was absolutely brilliant. Looking at the cast, obviously, you got your Traitors crew. Standout characters that you've got your eye on at the moment.
Standout characters.
Or people you're watching.
People I'm watching, I like Dan.
Yep.
I think he's very outspoken and I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a bit like, actually, I like people like he's a bit rude.
He was quite ballsy the other day when was it Kaz's question?
Yeah.
Listen, like it's a game. Like I was like fair, but also puts him on the radar a bit. But yeah.
I just liked how direct he was. Like, it's a game. I'm gonna look after myself. all that. So him, I think
that's happened a lot quicker this season.
Yeah, really.
So season 1, that team play element lasted throughout the whole thing.
Do you know why it's not? Do you want me to tell you the reason?
Go on.
Because the missions have changed. So the missions have added a psychological
Oh,
thing into it.
Yeah.
So that's made it like the mission. So for us,
We didn't have the
mission-
shields and all stuff.
Nah,
did we?
we
No.
had-
Well,
we had the
later on.
shield,
Later
we had
on.
shield later
yeah,
on.
yeah.
But for us, no one cared about the money or anything. It was about just having fun.
Yeah.
So all of our missions were just fun.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have like this sabotaging or trying to figure out who are they trying to sabotage the mission. So now it's like in the missions they have to play the game as well. People are just getting riled up really.
People do grate you on the missions as well, because there's always people like some people are more like brainier or physical better. Like we had the laser one. You were fucking
I
mate.
always wanted to do that.
You used to be a burglar years ago because you had the cat. Mate, his moves. He was like,
He's from Liverpool. He was like, this is PE when I was at school. It was easy.
But like, you know when you've like watched all these films with lasers, I'm like, I've always wanted to do
it
that.
was cool.
I don't
wasn't it?
remember, for some reason, when you watch it, it's obvious that the lasers are going to come. But when we were there, it was not in our mind.
No.
So we was like, oh, what is this? And then all of a sudden when it went, I was
mental.
like, fucking yeah.
And they added a laser each time, didn't they? It was made. Oh, it's only me, you, and well, you've done
Aaron.
it twice. Aaron done it twice, and I've done it once. Yeah.
And everybody
0.5 done it once.
Oh, no one else could do it.
No,
It was
no.
wicked. That mission was
Meryl's like, I want to go. I want to go. I was like, Meryl, just wait, just hold wait back a little
wait
bit.
back a bit, Meryl.
Just let a few people go before us. She's like, beep.
and Bob,
Hannah's arse. She went, my arse ain't designed for this. That's her.
so funny. Yeah, that mission. But yeah, that's why I feel like our missions were about community and forgetting about the game and just having fun.
Yeah.
Like there was never a mission where you felt like you was trying to suss someone out. I don't think like and everybody else. It was nice. Like our missions were nice. Even me and Maddie would call on missions.
Yeah.
What's life like now after Traitors? Because what I've noticed, not everyone makes it after Traitors. Some people, it literally is a 15 minutes of fame. You've kept going, so this is still your profession, isn't it? Like you're still full time within entertainment. So like, what's life been like?
Yeah, life's mad, and I feel like I'm one of the lucky ones that, because a lot of, like you said, it's some people, it didn't really change their life too much.
Yeah,
You
you've
know,
had some great experiences.
great
mate,
experience,
yeah,
but it's like opened up so many opportunities, and I already had like quite a big following on TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
So I already had like 250,000. So before the show, so I knew that I was going to come out, and that was going to be something that I was just going to try and do.
Yeah.
And I remember it got to a point where I was making money on it, and I said to my agent, I was like, how's it going? He's like, we've got quite a lot of brand deals, whatever. And I was like, I can leave my work. Like, you know, it got to a point where I was like, actually, I can leave work.
Will.
That was the best thing I've ever felt in my life. Like,
Oh God, when you get to quit, my one, I quit because I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And I thought if I don't do it, I will never do this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, it's a massive risk for the pair. I've always kept my job and stuff like that, and you've given up both a career that you've had to do it full
cucumbers
time.
getting more expensive, isn't it?
Well, the cucumber store won't sell itself, mate, basically. So that someone's got Vaseline sold out this year. We're good. Most common female middle name, Will.
Oh, Louise.
That's one of the most successful videos, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's from that's how his TikTok was made. He had some amazing like things that relatable comedy that people would just go, oh my God, guess what my wife's middle name is?
Louise.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so common.
Yeah.
And then people, so what you got to think in socials, right? The way I work with it, it's like you think, okay, what's really common? So I remember thinking, oh, everyone's name's Louise. It's like, just go out on the street and ask people and film it and just see what happens.
I actually don't think my wife's middle name's Louise, and I just thought that might be Elizabeth. Cut that.
No, stay in there.
Please.
After your comedy comment, I'm gonna organise.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Okay.
But you know, it's thinking about things that everyone relates to. Like another one is like, have you got a cousin that's not actually your cousin, but you tell everyone?
Second cousin, yeah.
Everyone has that. A friend that you're like, yeah, it's my cousin. You're like, how? And you're like, I don't know, it's not really my cousin. But, you know, little things. And I just started going out filming. It was because of Tom, actually. So I did a lot of my stuff in sketches in the house and stuff. And then Tom from season 1, he was like, you need to go on the street. That's where you're going to make your money.
Yeah.
And then he took me on the street for the first time and we started doing stuff. And then he went off to work with Dynamo and I just carried on. So I've got my own little team now who come out and stuff. So
and you've done, mate, watching how it's grown for you, and it's all done. Like you haven't had any help. You've done everything yourself, and it's been hard.
Like I remember when I first quit my job, it was like 2 years ago. Like it was like February time.
Yeah.
When I started making money, and then I was like, right. And the thing is, when you work for a charity and you're taking quite a decent salary, but you can't put 100% into it, not right.
No.
I was like, I can't do that. It's not fair on the charity. Because I was always off doing this and doing that. So I left. And then there was a period, I remember from like April, May, June, like 3 months, not really making any money. And I
remember speaking to you and that,
mental health, everything.
Yeah.
It was just the worst because like we've just
and you
bought
got
a house.
broken into as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we got burgled. Like my life was just in this weird state. And then I remember going, shall I go for a job? Then all of a sudden, TikTok started the Creator Fund, like the new Creator Fund, which was not new now, and I was like, okay, let me try this. And then I started making loads of money on it. I was like, oh, it's back up. And then since then, it's just been that TikTok is like my base pay. Like I always see it as like, as long as I get between 10 to 20 million views a month, like you're cool, like that's your base.
Covers you know what you need.
All your brand deals will just, like they're always like, you build them up so you have like 2-3 a month, but they're always like in hand, so you'll get paid.
You're in lieu, basically,
so that, you know you're sorted. Okay, so I'm sorted till April now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's but it was really hard. Like I built it from like nothing. And I remember coming off the show, I did okay with followers, but it was a really weird thing because it was like a slow incline. And then this year, because I just thought to myself, it's time to separate myself from the like Wilf from the Traitors.
Do your own thing,
do my own thing and try and focus on something that I don't want to be known just for that now. I want to go into content and
well done, mate.
Do something else. So it's like none of my content that's gone viral. I don't think I've had any viral videos that's to do with Traitors.
No.
Everything's to do with other random stuff. So so it's just worked out, man. And I'm lucky, like, because some people go there with the expectations that they're gonna be able to achieve.
You know what you say, lucky. I believe that you create your own luck.
Yeah.
So you say, lucky, you work hard for stuff. It's right that you go to get it. So what else what's new? What's next?
So it's got to that time of year where it's like, well, not time of year, it's the start of the year, but you know, you start thinking, what do I want to do this year? So obviously I used to box when I was younger, so I want to get into Misfits. I want to start having a couple of fights, get rid of the dad bod, give me an excuse. And now spoke to my agent. I spoke to a couple of celebrities. Right, I'm not gonna throw out their names because we were talking with a couple of celebrities, a couple of radio hosts. I'll tell you the names after.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and then I spoke to my agent, and he was like, "Oh, that's a good fight, but have you thought about Harry? Harry's calling people out."
Yes.
Harry's calling people out.
He's calling people out to fight.
I saw that.
Yeah. So my agent was like, you should fight Harry. So Harry, if you're about, you keep calling people out. And I know my agent's talked to your agent and you've not said anything. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if he's even asked Harry yet. Like, but the agents have had have shared the idea.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. But
right, you've heard it here first. I saw that video. Was it any man, any size, any weight?
I didn't watch it.
Is that what he says?
That's what he said.
I'll fight him.
Right. Mate, that is the fight to make. Will versus Harry, Misfits Boxing 2025.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm walking you out. Let me walk you out and train. So let me come with you.
What I want to do, like I was thinking about, if I was to do it, I'd have all of the people from season 1, 2, and 3 that I get on with.
Yeah.
Just walk behind me, folks.
And he'd just have Paul, wouldn't he?